31%.
That's how much Wilder World is up over the past month with brand new catalysts coming. I want to do an update here because Wilder World, they're cooking. We actually went over to NFT NYC and we played this game live. There's a lot to talk about, not a lot of time. We're going to be breaking it down for you. If you enjoy the content, as always, like and subscribe. We break down for you all the crypto gaming content, and let's get into it. So what's happening with the charts? It's up 31%, as I said before, $1.10. We last covered it somewhere around that 80-cent mark, had a bit of a correction since then. It's killing it. I mean, there's no easy way to say it. It's just up 205% over the past year, and they've been cooking the entire time. There's this common misconception in crypto gaming that people in bear markets say, okay, this is the time to buy your crypto coins. You need to buy them during the bear and then eat during the bull. While that is correct, you need to keep in mind that a lot of these games are just focusing on building their products during the bear cycle. You only really get these rallies at the start of the actual bull cycle. It makes sense, right? But that's when these companies are starting to do a lot of marketing. And talking about marketing, we actually got sponsored to go ahead and head out to New York to try out Midnight in Wiami with their racing simulators. Like, you can actually play this on a racing sim, which I think is fucking awesome. Like, I tried it out with a bunch of people, had a ton of fun there. So, I mean, there's bias there, right? There's obviously going to be bias there, but I really love what Wilder World is doing. I love that they actually have products shipped out. You know, we covered this game very recently, played for quite some time, the gameplay there. In Midnight Wiami, it's looking a lot better than it was before. It's just so much better. Everything across the board with Wilder World is just so much better than it was a year, 2 years ago. And they're finally showing the product for the world. Now, what was the big news catalyst that Wilder World got? Well, the first one was NVIDIA GeForce Now. I don't think I did it justice last video, really going in depth on what cloud computing is. Just to give you a TLDR of what cloud computing is, it pretty much allows you to play games that you normally would not be able to run on a computer with cloud computing. So let's say you have a bad computer. Well, you could pay someone for processing power to play better games. That is a groundbreaking technology. And if you did not know, the slogan for Wilder World is Wilder World is for all. The idea is to get Wilder World in the hands of as many people as possible. And so they're now partnering with these companies that are doing cloud computing to make this a reality. One of the first big players that got into this cloud computing race was NVIDIA. And so when they announced NVIDIA, it's really a giant leap forward in accessibility, 100%. Not a lot of games are there. And so Wilder World being there really goes to show their network and connections. Another big announcement since then is Samsung. They just announced this one very recently. They're not the only one doing it, just to be 100% clear. Wilder World is on Polygon. Polygon has done a partnership. I believe it's like Illuvium, and then it's Wilder World. I don't know the other games, but there are a couple other ones. Not a lot, though. It's like 4 to 5 games only hopping on there. Samsung TVs are going to be able to run Wilder World. I did this yesterday. I was playing Fortnite on my Samsung TV because I do own one, and it blew my mind. I don't have a PS5. I have no consoles, and I'm playing a game on my TV. And it's only possible because of cloud computing. And so cloud computing is going to give access to so many people. So many gamers are now going to be able to play these games. And so Wilder World is coming to a TV near you. I mean, that is just awesome news to hear that. You can hear from Frank Wilder. We're thrilled to be working with Samsung to make Wilder World more accessible through their smart TVs. We're creating a next-gen gaming metaverse with an emphasis on immersion and realism, and Samsung's global distribution and cutting-edge hardware will allow Wilder World to be experienced at its best. I mean, awesome stuff from the Wilder World team. And here we go. Operation Domino shows no signs of slowing down. If you did not know what Operation Domino is, Operation Domino is their roadmap. They're dropping dominoes one by one, and these dominoes are huge announcements that are just over and over, bringing marketing and prominence to the Wilder World vision. But guess what? This whole racing game, this Midnight in Wiami stuff, that's not their end goal. In fact, if you look into Zero Tech, which if you didn't know, they have a Meow chain, Zero is providing a place for people to go ahead and build decentralized virtual societies. Their first project, of course, is going to be Wilder World, which does make a lot of sense. But Zero has been developing for quite some time in Unreal Engine 5 software development kit to help people do this. This is something that gives more ease of access for games that are trying to build software and head into the crypto gaming sphere. You can see here through the picture that their idea is to get a bunch of people in their metaverse, and you see a bunch of different names there, kind of further solidifying that. And so let's talk a little bit about NFT NYC. Sharky, the guy on the picture here, big shout out to him. He ended up winning here. Guy's been playing since alpha, 100% deserves everything he's been getting. I actually saw the team's booth at GDC as well, the Game Developers Conference. A little bit of a smaller activation, but it definitely showcased the amount of people that are now hyped. I saw a lot of different creators begin to cover Wilder World after this, so clearly it left just a bit of an impression in regards to how great of an experience it was to play this game. Not a lot of teams can execute like Wilder World is doing, so the NFT NYC, I think, is going to be a big player in terms of exposure for creators getting into this. Another thing you should know is in March 30th, they did go ahead and do a tweet here talking about the fact that they're currently working on a next-gen FPS and third-person combat game. And they're connecting the dots with racing, combat, strategy, and the open world of what Wiami is supposed to be. So a heck of a lot of announcements here. And before people say, oh, but it's a little bit rushed, there's not enough things happening here. Wilder World has been building for a long time. For a really long time. You just haven't heard of them because we had a bear market. Crypto games they're very funny. You don't really hear about them for like a year or two, and then all of a sudden they come back with a bunch of products. It's not like meme coins where they just launch out of nowhere, spend all their money to just pump this thing and then just run away. Games actually have a burn rate. They actually have something to look forward to. And so them doing this is really exciting. But even more exciting than the game and the building and all that stuff is him talking about the fact that many of the best stories and IPs are created through their native media. And look at this. Neo here is on a short trip working on finalizing their first IP deal. The first content that will come into Wilder World, an original IP with new stories for a new medium in a new era. No game is complete without lore. If there is no reason to care about this thing, then guess what? It's not going to be a success. IP, it's timeless. There's a reason you know about Pokemon. There's a reason so many people play the Pokemon games. It's because people care about the IP. So Wilder World building on their IP is only going to be a good thing. And the last thing before I go is, if you haven't already, wishlist this game on Epic Games. It is all over the place right now. You just go on Epic Games, search store, Wilder World, click that little thing right there to put it on your wish list. Wilder World is cooking right now. I've been playing this extensively, as you can see right here on the build that they've given us access to. And you're not going to want to fade this one. They're approaching top 50. This was back in April 6th. I'm sure they've already hit it. And so hopefully they can do like 9 heroes and hit top 10. I'm really rooting for them in that regard. So let me know your thoughts in Wilder World. What do I expect? I mean, are you too late for Wilder World? I don't think you're late. I think that this game has a lot that it's going to be able to provide for people, but we'll see. As always, not financial advice. Until the next time, stay classy, and that's all.